Hello, everyone, and welcome to Turn One Talk, a weekly Formula One podcast that covers rumours, news, speculation, and the occasional opinion. I'm Tom Archer, and I'm joined today by Charlie Brotherhood, otherwise known as CJ. CJ, this week, not much news as usual in this autumnal break that we're having. Apart from Haas and Toyota have joined forces. Toyota is joining the grid yet again. Since 2009, they've not been on the grid, but that was with their full team. Now they're back, but this time as just a sticker on the Haas cars. What do you think about it?
I'm well happy. My car's back on the grid, mate.
Your car is back on the grid, yeah. What car do you
My
drive?
car's 2009 plate red Toyota Yaris.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that,
Nothing
mate.
wrong with that.
May or may not have been my nan's car once upon a time. No, nothing. No, it's
Car's a
good.
car.
It's good to have Toyota. Yeah, exactly. Car is a car. It's good to have Toyota back. That's the main thing. Back in what way? It's a bit strange. It's a bit odd. I don't really want to see Toyota ever come back fully. They spent so much money when they were in the sport and achieved nothing. So
I think 8 podiums or
it's
something like that. Something ridiculous below.
yeah. I mean, for the amount of money they spent, mate, it was nothing. Yeah, it's interesting though. I mean, it's cool to see. I think it saved us because otherwise we'd have nothing to talk about. And I mean, I don't really know how it's going to work. Is it literally just a sticker?
So
There's been some things flying around. It might be
the
more of
it's
a
more like a
technical thing.
technical partnership. So the
Yeah,
kind of fostering engineers, mechanics, to kind of bring Formula One ethics and know-how to the road cars, and then in exchange, Haas gets the same engineers and mechanics that support on their side. So,
yeah,
I mean, that partnership will definitely help a team like Haas. There's currently 7th in the championship. It show. You know what though? It actually shows for me. It shows it may be Toyota, and I don't say that in any disparaging way. It just means, as we said, they didn't score many podiums when they were in the sport full time, and now they're a sticker on the Haas car. But it does show the power of this new team principal, Ayo Komatsu. Because compared to Gunter Steiner, who didn't bring in much, and now you've got Toyota joining the grid. Do you think that's you pull in the face? So I'll ask this question: do you think that's a circumstance of F1 going in its direction with the new engines, or do you think that's a circumstance of the team principal?
maybe with the engines, but there was some. I saw some interesting things on Twitter about it.
Yeah,
As a case of people very surprised that Toyota had taken the chance now to sort of get themselves involved. The right time for them to come back was 2014 in the turbo hybrid era. They were Toyota's road cars, and I know it's different. We all know it's different. They had the leading sort of hybrid engines. They had, they were at the forefront of that market. They had
yeah,
the best. And they didn't come back then. For a team like Haas, which is locked into an engine deal with Ferrari until 2028, and it's not just the engine deal; they get all different manner of parts from Ferrari. They already have team members and staff in Maranello. They've got a US base as well, and then to be working alongside a German. It's German, isn't it? It's in Germany, is it? The actual the Toyota Europe center.
yeah,
I think it's in Germany.
yeah. It's in Germany.
If they're working with them as well, it's not streamlined in any way, shape, or form. It's like scattered,
It'll be all
and I
over teams,
understand.
won't it?
Yeah, and Toyota, from what videos and what I've seen, they do have some assets that Haas can tap into that'll be worthwhile.
Yeah.
But there's nothing about Haas which will allow them, I don't think, to be able to get the most out of that partnership. In my mind, I don't think you can have three different teams, three different bases
It's going to be
making it
it's going to be
work.
an uphill battle. I think that, but at the same time, I don't think, apart from maybe some interference at the beginning and some growing pains, I think they only stand to gain from it. They get a bit of funding, they're able to get a foot in the door in F1. As you said, 2028 is when the Ferrari deal is up. I don't see Toyota returning to the sport like full time. I don't see it happening. I maybe
No.
see them in a Aston Martin context, maybe branding on a car that is very much not the car that it says it is, i.e., Aston Martin with the Mercedes engine. I don't see. Yeah, I see Toyota maybe coming back as a primary sponsor on the Haas car, it being Toyota Haas or something like that with a Ferrari engine. That's the only scenario I can see. I think they can gain from the funding and maybe put themselves a bit further forward with that funding. I mean, Haas as a team, I'm not sure like how close to the cost cap they are, because there is that cost cap now that has brought all these teams that were spending hundreds and hundreds of millions down to 200 million. Not sure how close Haas are to that, but it will bring them a bit closer to that limit, and then ergo maybe put some performance gains in.
Well, I don't understand how Haas won't be very close to the limit when you've got three different bases that you are tapping into. Maranello, America, and I don't want to say Cologne, but I think it is Cologne, and
I'm
I
not
think I
sure
might
if
be
like
wrong
the
when I say
building
Cologne.
costs and all that stuff though. I think like
No, but the actual personnel, they're going to be. It's still that's got to come into the cost cap, because otherwise, if it doesn't, then it's some loophole they need to sort out. They
you
can't
know
have
what, it
people just
probably is a
working on that
loophole
car.
though. Let's be honest. Like when you think
It
about it,
probably is, but you'd think they'd fix that. You'd hope, because you can't have three team bases. That's the type of stuff that Red Bull would pull. You know,
there's the type of
they'd
stuff
have
that Red Bull will pull, but we won't go into that. The
they'd have
Ford Red Bull engine,
well, the Ford Red Bull, yeah, hey ho.
cheeky Red Bull freeze,
Uh,
cheeky engine freeze as well. On top of that,
everyone loves a cheeky engine freeze. It's only people who like these
apart from
LH fans
Alpine,
that don't like one. Well, if you can't make an engine, you can't make an engine.
yeah, it's for me, it's just I can't like just to summarize. I really can't see them not gaining from it, but I can see there being a bit of like zero benefit for the start. I don't see them being hindered by it, but I don't see them gaining much from it at the very start. Like I think it will take time for the fruits of their labor to come to fruition.
It's not going to make Haas competitive in any
You
way.
don't think? You
No.
don't see?
You've got Williams
You
on the
don't see
up.
Esteban Ocon winning a
No,
championship in a
no,
Toyota Haas?
yeah, sound mate. I see me winning a championship before I see Esteban Ocon winning a championship in a Toyota Haas. It's not happening. No chance.
Yeah.
Categorically, no. You've got Williams on the uptake. You've got Audi that sooner or later will, when they come in, they're going to get there. They always do. It's going to take them years and years, but they'll get there. Aston Martin, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari. There's no place that Haas comes into that equation.
But the Williams turnaround has been quite significant, hasn't it? When you think about where they were compared to where they're going. I mean, they're not there yet by any
They
stretch
did
of
it in
the
the right way.
imagination. What's that?
They've got a base. They've got a base, and they've had capital expenditure. Whereas Haas have got two bases, and they've now got a third base, and they're talking about having a Toyota brand on a car which has got a Ferrari engine and is built in the States. It's not feasible for those teams to collaborate.
Yeah.
Haas don't fit into the big six picture. They don't fit into the big seven picture. Not really. They don't. Haas, I think Williams are behind them, but Williams, you'd say, are a better team than Haas. It is what it is.
Mm.
Uh, I'd rather.
Has done a very good job with that team. I'm just trying to give Haas the benefit of the doubt. We've not really seen this team principle in action fully as of yet, and this is like probably his first step. This is a good one, gotta say. Should we go on to?
I had a text message off of our friend Chris. So.
Oh yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
Right, Chris.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Wasn't in
Former
all
Haas
bold this
driver,
time.
Michael Schumacher. Not Michael Schumacher, Mick Schumacher.
I hope not.
Anyway, Mick Schumacher is on the radar of Kick Sauber at the moment, which will become Audi in 2025, going to 26 when it becomes a full Audi Works team. Thought that it would be Bortoletto or maybe Sebastian Vettel. But now Mick Schumacher has come into the fray and seemingly stuck his oar in. Somehow, some way, and Alpine wanted to keep him for WEC, so they're going to really miss out on Mick Schumacher potentially.
I build a wet car, so they're not going to be missing anything. And honestly, if Mick Schumacher gets that seat, it's a travesty. I
In
mean,
what way?
In the way that he's had his chance, the whole excuse for his Haas performances was he's always been a second season driver, the F3, the F2, whatever. He always come good. He didn't come good. He split a car in half. He crashed in the practices in the qualifying in Japan when the pressure was on. No. And I say that with no disrespect to him, but the drivers that are coming through now deserve a chance, and they're not going to get one.
I completely agree with you that the drivers deserve another chance. I'm also thinking like it's not really not another chance. They deserve a chance. The drivers that are coming through. It's also probably not the best career move for him to go to Audi anyway. I mean, I know he wants to way into F1, but that car at the moment hasn't done Valtteri Bottas any favours. Hasn't done Zhou Guanyu any favours, even though Zhou Guanyu is completely off the pace compared to his teammate. It'll be the same case scenario for Mick Schumacher to get into that Audi Sauber car and be at the back of the grid and not showing any potential. Like, even if he has the potential, let's like hypothetical. Mick Schumacher comes back and is like on top of his form, but he'll be 19th. It's a ludicrous decision to make. I know he wants to get back into F1, and I know it's a decision like they probably. I don't know. You just wouldn't rush into it. You wouldn't rush into it, and you wouldn't put yourself in the same scenario as last time. The last time he was in that Haas car, he were absolutely nowhere. And he's going to be in the same scenario again. Absolutely nowhere. And not showing any potential whatsoever, because no one's going to blink an eye at a car that's 5 seconds off the pace in qualifying. And I feel like that's going to be the scenario. The laugh of pain.
Mick Schumacher's not good enough for F1. If he was called Mick Buxton, he wouldn't be in the sport. If he was called Mick Karan, he wouldn't be in the sport. And I'm just reading that off my Xbox friend list. His second names of my friends, right? It wouldn't be in the sport. He wasn't good enough, and it's no disrespect to him. He's still a brilliant driver, and he's one of the best in the world. But he's not Formula One level, and that's just me in my chair saying how I see it. Fair enough, but he isn't. Do you think he is? Probably not.
No. However, we've seen how Colapinto has performed in F1. And Colapinto in F2 wasn't exactly lighting up.
But as all the team principals have said recently, they have no idea now about F2 because they don't know the drivers that can take to it and the drivers that can't. I mean, Oliver Behrman's not had a very good F2 season, and he's getting into a seat with Haas next year. No one really knows where people are at in F2 compared to where they could be in F1. I don't think it's at this point a fair place to say. I mean, Mick Schumacher won that championship, and he didn't do anything in F1.
George Russells,
but they're special. They're special talents, aren't they? I mean, George Russell won the world championship. Won the championship in F2 against Alex Albon, against Lando Norris. Same thing with Leclerc. He won it against Alexander Albon. He won it against many good drivers in that F2. Who did Mick Schumacher win that F2 championship against? Well, I can tell you.
It wasn't Alex Albon. It wasn't.
It was Robert Schwartzman and Callum Ilott.
Was Mazepin in it as well?
Yeah. Where are those drivers now?
Not in Formula One, CJ.
And Yuki Tsunoda. Where are they? Well,
apart
one,
from
Yuki Tsunoda and he's taking up a seat that he shouldn't be in. So again, there's no one that came from that category that is a world championship driver level, and he won it. I think he only won one feature race all year. It wasn't a dominant season. There's nothing about that which is stand out. And the whole point was that second season driver. He always gets himself good in the second season. Okay, he won it more by luck than judgment. So he had his chance. If he gets it and he performs well, I really hope he does. Brilliant. Brilliant for the sport. Brilliant for him. Cracking. Redemption. Maybe we're all wrong, but the signs say that we're not. I don't know what if you're Audi, why would you do that?
I don't know why you
All
would
German
take him
driver
over a
lineup?
rookie. I don't know why. Like we've seen Mick Schumacher in F2. We've seen Mick Schumacher in F1. He took 2 seasons, like you said. It took 2 seasons to win both the F3 and the F2, and then he gets into F1 and he doesn't perform well. Performs well against Nikita Mazepin and then gets absolutely washed by Kevin Magnussen in the second season. And he did crash cars and he did cost the team a lot of money. And I don't see why you would take on that kind of liability when you can get the same type of liability by running a rookie and just seeing what sticks. I don't know why, but I do feel bad for Mick Schumacher. I will say it, and a lot of people do for some reason. I don't know what it is about him. I don't think he's got a full showing of what he can do, and I think that Haas wasn't the best car to do it. But the same scenario comes around again. So, like, even if you disagree with what I say there, the same scenario is coming around again. He's not going to get the opportunity to do it again. He's going to be in a Kick Sauber or a Audi Sauber, and it's going to be the same scenario. So I don't understand why he's making that decision to join them, even though he's desperate to get into Formula One. And I don't get why Sauber are making the decision to take him. It doesn't make any sense on all fronts.
The only reason it makes sense for Audi is 2 German drivers.
Yeah,
That's the only conceivable reason.
maybe
Some
Sebastian
sort of
Vettel said
attachment.
no then. Do you think they approached Sebastian Vettel first?
It must have done. Did Bonotto say that? Bonotto said in response that they had a list of drivers.
Yeah,
Which is very telling. Like, as in, you think if you don't deny it, then there's a reason as to why you've not denied it.
yeah.
It's obviously an approach out there you could make. Would Vettel come back and set the world alight? I think he could, and I know he's got a bigger possibility of that happening than Mick Schumacher performing well. Compared to Hulkenberg, it's just not going to happen. He's going to get trounced against Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
Magnussen, and I know we all know that it's down to driving styles and whatnot, right? We know this before I say what I'm about to say. I'm more than aware of this. Magnussen absolutely steamrolled Schumacher, and Magnussen's just been steamrolled by Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
We all know driving styles. We all know how it's not really fair to compare. If you were to do that, you'd end up as I don't know. Colapinto would maybe be a better driver than Senna by comparing teammates. That we all know how that works. But in this instance, it'd be mad to say that in pretty much the same era of car, those drivers have been against each other. It's going to be any different.
And the same car.
Same team.
Same
Yeah,
team.
there's no way that, in my mind, that Schumacher's going to suddenly dominate Hulkenberg or be competitive. It's not going to happen. And it's a shame for him to be in that situation, sure. I think his best chance was getting into an Alpine, because at least then everything's falling apart at the seams.
Yeah.
So you've got a chance. But Hulkenberg's no slouch. So he's got a chance then Audi to build a team to try and get him a podium that he still hasn't had in like ever. So yeah, no.
Nico Hulkenberg needs a podium, doesn't he? It really does. I feel like
I hope he gets one. I mean, Kvyat got one in a Toro Rosso. So you think there'd be a mad enough race soon enough for Hulkenberg to get a podium?
Yeah. He does need one.
You
know what? Alpine. Otmar Safnauer recently gave an interview with the performance podcast. What's it called?
I saw it. You
seen
High
it?
performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is
said
this
that
where you're going to tell me that he paid for all the salaries and stuff?
Well, it's not only that. So recent news come out, or that podcast came out, and it came to light that Otmar Safnauer, one, got fired over Zoom, and two, wasn't in charge of many of the departments. One, if you watch that podcast, do you believe everything he says? And two, in regards to the Alpine team management structure, two, what do you think about it?
Well, we know that Alpine can't run a piss up in a brewery, so there's enough reason to believe him in that sense. I don't care that he paid. I don't care that he paid for the salaries of the team. Who cares? I don't know why that was brought. Why was that brought up? I don't know.
I think it does show that, you know, he's putting. Obviously, he gets the money back. That came out. So he paid the salary for the team, and then when
Exactly.
the team wages came in, he took his money back. So he didn't pay for it.
Exactly. So I don't know.
He fronted the money.
It's not. It's not an upstanding character. When I give £2 to a homeless man, do I get it back now? So
I mean, it's
look at
slightly
that point
different.
of view. It's not slightly different at all.
It's in
£2
the millions.
in my net. £2 to my net worth. I guarantee you is what millions is to his net worth. Nothing. Nothing. Right. Otmar Zafnar is a very rich man.
I don't think you can
He's
take that away from him.
He's
To be
a
honest, I don't think
very
you can
rich
take that away
man.
from him. I think
I
paying
don't-
for
I-
somebody's wages, even
Listen-
if you're getting the money back, I think paying for a whole team's wages isn't like this big thing that's like, oh, he paid for the whole team's wages, well done for him, because he didn't. He fronted the money, but it's still a big risk to take to front the money. And it's a nice
Anyway,
thing to do
we
to
all
make
know-
sure
we-
everyone
we
gets
all
paid on
know-
time. People live from paycheck to paycheck.
Oh no. That's taken directly from what he said in that podcast. That is a direct Otmar Zafnar line that he said in that and I agree. Fair enough to him. Brilliant. And you know what? He did the right thing, but he knew he was getting the money back. So let's just have it right. It wasn't like have my millions of pounds. I'm never seeing it ever again. He was getting it back. If I give £10 million to a dog rescue charity and they pay it me back, it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean
they
anything
save
in
loads
the
of-
sense
they
you
save loads-
didn't give the money. Like, so I take what you're saying.
Casper the Spaniel, right? Casper the Spaniel, he got his leg amputated, and he did it with my 10 mil. But my 10 mil thing still came back to me, and I knew I was getting it back. Well, it does.
But you made
the
sure
whole point.
But you made sure that Casper the Spaniel got his leg amputated when he needed to, and not a week later when it was too late. First time I've seen you quiet.
I don't know what to say to you. Like he knew he was getting the money back. There's no getting around.
He didn't know
it.
he was getting the money back, but he made sure that everyone got the wages on time, which is a big thing.
Anyway, the whole point is Alpine is a mess. It's a mess. Get out of the sport.
It's crazy
sell your car.
to get.
Sell your team. Sell it to. I don't know. It was Citroen. Get out. You want a French team. They even said themselves this French experiment and they want it to be like Ferrari hasn't worked. Well, it's not worked because no one cares about Alpine. Ferrari is steeped in tradition and history, right? No one cares about your blue shitbox. And I'm going to say that on stream, live. Don't care. It's a blue shitbox that you were that ashamed of. You changed its name to Alpine to get it away from your brand. There's no French, no one, no Frenchman's going, oui, Mecca, Le Bleu, allez Le Bleu. No one's looking at that. They're going, that's a shitbox. It's awful. I don't know what you can't constantly pin the blame on. Is it Oliver Oakes and Otmar Zafnar and the guy? They constantly it's a rotating door of people.
It is a rotating
The
door of
team's a
people.
mess.
Endless blame being pointed in the wrong directions.
And he was told he had control over it, and he had no control. So he's completely been led on a false narrative, and it's nonsense. And I think the team, systematically from top to bottom, it's like when you see in sports clubs like Manchester United. At top to bottom, it's run awfully on a day-to-day basis, operationally wise. They're not set up to win.
Do you think we'll see Otmar Safnauer on the grid?
Yeah, he'll find a way. He always comes back somehow, doesn't he? I don't know how, but he's like one of them that just jumps to a team to team. He'll find himself somewhere. Don't know where. Probably somewhere with Williams or some sort of place. He'll find a way to get back in. He obviously is a very intelligent man and obviously can do a very good job. So I don't see why there's any reason why he wouldn't come back to the sport. But in my head, the Alpine situation, it's awful. There's no interest there in keeping him, and I get the points of from the team's point of view when there was talk about Andretti coming in. All the media was so biased in their opinion of we want to see this 11th team. We want to see that F1 doesn't work from a sustainability point of view if you bring an 11th team in. If there's no proof that bringing in of an 11th team creates more money and a bigger pool of prize money and sponsor money, revenue streams, if that doesn't happen, there's no proof of that, then all of those teams have the right as stakeholders in the sport to turn around and go, well, actually, we don't agree that that's feasible. Because you're going to be taken out of, we are running on a loss.
Yeah.
As James Hars kept saying, there are teams that are very lossy, was what he kept saying. And he's right. And at the time, all of the people turned around and were like, well, we don't care. It's the fans, we don't care. Well, you should care, because without that, you won't have
nowhere,
Formula One.
All these teams are going to.
It's going to be you won't have Formula One. The whole reason why it works now is because it's sustainable. And if Alpine are taking up a space and they have absolutely no intention of competing anymore, which it seems they're doing everything by the look of it to suggest that they have no idea of competing anymore, then they need to get out of the sport. And at some point, you'd have to turn around to them and go, "You're just taking up a space and you're doing nothing."
You've got a lot of prospective teams coming up through the ranks as well. You've got Williams that are on the move up through. You've got maybe Haas, which obviously is not really realistic at the moment to say, but you've got maybe Haas coming through that are at least showing some kind of progress by bringing Toyota on board. You've got Alpine, however, that are getting rid of it. You've got Audi coming into the sport as well. Alpine needs to seriously get a move on and show that they're serious about their F1 project, or sell the team to Andretti or someone else like that is passionate about winning races and about competing in Formula One. It's just, at the moment, as you say, they're just like a bookmark. They're just placeholder at the moment. They're doing nothing. They had a five-year plan, was it? The famous 5-year plan that they kept on. I think it became a 10-year plan at one point as well. That was 11 years ago.
How many plans do you have before your plan is decided that it's absolutely crap?
Wow.
I mean,
don't speak to Ferrari about that, but
well, Ferrari have got some hope. What do you have if you're a driver for that Alpine team? What do you have? If you're who's a fan of an Alpine? Who? Do you know anyone?
Clarkson.
Well, oh, right, okay, cool. Even with all the celebrities that bought into that team, no one cares. If you bought into the team as a celebrity, Ryan Reynolds, Anthony Joshua, you have seriously screwed yourself.
It's funny that I think I spoke to you about this before, that Nico Rosberg went on during free practice in Monza, I think.
Monza.
It's like, they sent me an email saying, do I want to be a shareholder in the team?
Do you want to buy into this absolute shithole? No.
Reply to it, no. I want it. Who wants it?
Exactly. Who wants that? They couldn't give it away.
That's the thing, isn't it? It doesn't. If you invest in it, it doesn't add value. It's not an investment that adds any value to you, unless something changes, and nothing has changed. Everything that has changed is for the worse. I mean, the only good thing that's come out of it so far is that they're going to get a Mercedes engine, and that's through their own. That's through their own incompetence than anything else. And maybe that Mercedes engine isn't competitive, or two, it's not going to show. It's not going to win them races, is it? Because they're going to be going against the works Mercedes and the McLaren, which has shown that they can at least take a customer engine and win with it. Alpine haven't done that.
Every time we do a podcast
with Red Bull and getting outscored by them, and they were both powered by Renault.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just, I mean, it's a very similar situation to Mercedes at the moment. It's
not at all, because Mercedes. No, it's not at all, because Mercedes have won championships and races and competed.
Yes. Yeah.
And that team never once looked like it was going to compete while Red Bull were winning races when they won them. It was never close. How do you have a power unit that you build, and for 10 years you've not been able to beat customer teams? How does that happen? Even McLaren were building cars that were equal to yours with your engine. What? It was McLaren. McLaren that were awful.
Yeah.
They still managed to get results with your engine. It's mad.
It is. It's truly mad. I don't understand where they're going.
Sell up, get out of the sport.
Yeah. Is that our verdict on it? Who would you sell to?
It's our verdict. It's our verdict every time we talk about this, isn't it?
Yeah. We do need to move on from it. Actually, thinking about it, because I think we talked about it in.
We're just massive Alpine haters. We can't stand them, and we think that all of them should just sell out and go. And I believe that is true.
Yeah, I don't see any value that they add if they've not got a Renault engine.
At that point, there is no relation to Renault. There's nothing. So it's not even a French team anymore. It's literally you are now a Mercedes customer team. You're not going to compete. No point. Get out of the sport. See you later. Thank you. Bye.
Be good to see Andre's Cadillac on the grid.
I mean, it would. But do you think they'll get that? They'll buy that off them? Because bear in mind, they've got to take the Enstone base.
I don't think they will, but maybe. I mean,
at some point as well.
If they take the Enstone base, they don't have to take it, do they? If they've already got their own facility, I mean, it makes sense to take it. But also, if they've got their own facility, will they really want that running cost? Would they not maybe sell the facility? Buy into it to get the team, sell the facility.
No. At some point, even if Renault sell that team, they'll be back in the sport buying back Enstone in 10 years' time. So it's going around. It's going around in circles.
Yeah.
So hey ho.
I'm at a loss. Seriously, I'm at a loss with what they're doing, and with it's just a decision making. They don't have any direction whatsoever. It'd be interesting to see where they're at in 2026 when they've got the power unit, and if that power unit is any good, how far up the grid they get, if at all. I mean, the whole thing is going to be mixed up. We know that from previous evidence. Every time there's been a rule shake up like this one.
Did you see the news that said that from Alpine that their engine was well ahead of schedule for 2026? There was news that from Alpine themselves when they closed it down that said that they were well ahead of schedule and that they were
horsepower by any chance.
Apparently, fucking sorry for swearing, but it probably did. Probably had 2,000, mate. You know, they couldn't measure. Not even Mercedes, the dominant engine manufacturer at the time, knew how much horsepower they had. We're just dealing with liars. They're just lying. They literally just sat there. Who's the imposter? Well, it's Alpine, and it always has been Alpine.
Ahead of schedule.
Right?
Why would you?
They said well ahead. Then why would you shut your engines down and get a Mercedes engine?
What was the schedule? That's the thing. Like, what was the? If you like,
the development plan was well ahead and their numbers were good.
Development plan was so maybe if with this current trajectory with our engine, I'm going to be 5th.
Oh yeah, we'll be 5th.
That's the only that's the only explanation is that they're well ahead of schedule. They'll be 5th. Their engine will be the 5th best engine. There's only 5.
It's honestly, I think it's actually pushing my airline back just talking about Alpine every week because they do my head in. They do my nut in. They're awful.
Let's move on then. So, US Grand Prix coming up. Who do we think? Do we think Red Bull's upgrades that they're going to bring are going to bring them close to the McLaren? You don't think?
No, because McLaren are bringing upgrades as well, aren't they? And their wind tunnel works.
Might not work, CJ.
Their wind tunnel works. Yeah, their wind tunnel works
very well.
I can't imagine in any way, shape, or form, unless those McLaren engineers have got no idea what they're now doing all of a sudden, which would be very interesting.
It'd be typical of this season.
If they lose it from here, I'll eat my hat. If they lose
constructors,
the
you mean?
constructors championship, yeah. If they lose the constructors championship for me, I'll eat my hat.
Oh.
It's not. It's not going to happen. It's no chance. No, no way. No way.
A weird one, isn't it? It's a weird one that they can still lose the championship.
I mean, they'd only lose if Mercedes and Ferrari all of a sudden pull something out of the bag and start taking ridiculous amounts of points off them. And how likely is that?
Mercedes don't know what
Probably
they're
not.
doing, and Ferrari can't put a strategy
Well,
together.
Mercedes are bringing upgrades, Thomas. Big upgrades, apparently.
Big upgrades. Wow.
Big upgrades, which means they're going to be even slower.
Yeah.
So
they'll just put them on the car and they'll be like, and they'll be put them on the car on the Friday. They won't work, and then Toto Wolff will be like coming out. I don't understand what's happened. We've gone back to the other floor.
FP3 was a much better session. We don't know what happened here, but you know, and then qualifying. How could we be so stupid? How did we not understand what we did all this time? The race, we were dismal. Never had any pace. No idea what happened.
We'll put him on softs.
Even Mercedes are a joke. Maybe they need to stop giving out engines.
Yeah, maybe they do. Yeah, be the smart play, wouldn't it? Just cut off the engine supply.
How many teams do they give engines to now? So
Maybe
it'll be the same because it'll be Williams, McLaren, and it'll be Alpine.
Oh, 3.
So by the time Aston Martin go to Honda,
yeah,
it'll be 3 still. So 3 plus themselves. No, hold on a minute. Mercedes, Williams, McLaren,
Mercedes before
Alpine 4. Yeah, maybe you're overstretching yourself a little bit.
Just I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, it's all a mess, isn't it, Thomas? It's all a mess.
I wonder if them giving out engines gives them more budget though, because does it count towards?
No
more.
No.
I was thinking maybe if McLaren front some cost, then it comes off their cost.
No, it makes it more. There's more revenue streams.
It won't be
Mercedes.
Their engine, will it? It won't be their cost to forward that engine. Their cost to make the engine.
But it doesn't give them it doesn't increase their budget cap.
No, it doesn't increase the budget cap.
So it doesn't. No. So even that to be fair, it's actually separate from the team.
Invoices, when you have invoice and then credit.
Or you think you're going to get a credit now?
Yeah. To be honest with you never know with F1. you never know. Like you pull a face.
I'll put that into what you really mean. You never know with Red Bull.
Well, we gave these people all these sandwiches. It's
just broke it on the food, mate.
Yeah, what new?
Look,
what new rear wing? What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know, mate. Look, at the end of the day, we've not really informed anyone as to what's really happening because there's not been any news, not been anything to talk about. Apparently, Max Verstappen has admitted he's got driver options for 2026. He's got options.
That's good.
Yeah, he's got options. We already knew that, Thomas. I'm just trying to think of anything to talk about quickly. Someone was assaulted in one of the other motorsports in WEC, an engineer.
Right.
It might not have been WEC. It might have been IndyCar. Actually, I think someone got an engineer got struck by someone. There's news on that.
This is riveting.
Did we cover that Alpine is still shit? Did we cover that? I think we covered that.
Yeah.
Mick
Schumacher. Going to
still shit.
Yeah.
Did we cover it? Did we cover anything else? I'm thinking to myself.
Toyota.
Oh, my car's in the grid. I think that's summarised. I think we did a good enough job. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think we've done well. I think we've dragged this out for 39 minutes and we will not waste another minute of anybody else's time. So, in summary, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully there'll be more F1 news next week. I pray. There must be. We'll talk about the race at least. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye for now.